Hi, everyone. Great to see you on this Tea for a Druid 48, Tea with a Druid and for a Druid 48 on this bonfire night. Um, I announced that Ema would be taking this Tea for a Druid because it's November the 5th. November the 5th is a big deal in Lewis. There's lots of festivities, and I thought it'd be great for Ema to come in instead and give the evening. And I do apologize to Ema and to you all, but she's going to be in on another week. And the reason why is because I've been so excited about the launch of my magic course that my electronic diary wasn't quite behaving as it should, and I got confused. And so I do apologize. But you can probably hear some of the noise outside. It's died down now. Just before I started speaking, there was a tremendous amount of banging and crashing because that's what happens in Lewis. And in fact, after this session, I'm going to go out with Stephanie and we'll go to one of the huge bonfires and huge firework displays that they have around here. But in fact, I'm going to close the window to make it a bit quieter. And it's lovely to be with you for another tea session. So yes, so I've been working on this course for many years, really, and it's based, funnily enough, actually on this book that has fireworks on it, which are very appropriate for today. This little book that I wrote called Lessons in Magic, which is very condensed, and I was always aware of the fact that it was so compacted, it needed to be unpacked. And so that's what I've done. I've unpacked it over a course of 7 lessons. And we really explore the question of magic and the question of the magic of making, of creativity and creation. And I thought I'd just spend a little time with you talking about these magical principles of creativity, which I think interest us all. And it's lovely to see everybody here. Ben Crowbeard from St. Lucia, and Ian Kelly, and lots of people, Ballina and County Tipperary. Fantastic. So great to see you. So I think we're all interested in magic. It's such an evocative term. It's easy to think that it's something that is just relevant to childhood and to fantasy. But I think we all know that there's a serious side to magic. So serious that we might even back away from it a little bit because it makes us feel uncomfortable. But in fact, when you think about what magic is, I think you can distill it down to, in some senses, that it's about bringing 2 things together. Magic is what happens when you bring 2 things together. So if you think about the recent festival of Samhain, this period of Samhain that we're still in, really, the Celtic fire festivals aren't astronomical ones, and their influence really spreads over a number of days. So we're still in the time of Samhain, which kind of starts around the end of October. And what happens at Samhain? The other world and this world come closer. And that's why the Samhain ceremony that we do in Druidry is, I think, the most magical, perhaps, of them all. Because you really sense the presence of the other world and of your loved ones who've passed away, of the ancestors. And so it's in that moment, if one can approach it without fear and with respect and in the kind of right frame of mind, that's when magic can happen, when you can have a sense of contact, perhaps, with somebody you love very dearly. You can have a feeling, perhaps even it's only a glimpse of the reality that not just this physical world is the only world, but there's something more than just the world of appearances. That's what magic is to me. It's whether it's a powerful experience or a very subtle, fine one. It's an experience that helps us transcend our everyday mundane self that tends to get locked in the kind of drudgery of coping with life and its difficulties. And looking at this idea of bringing the two together, what we work with in the course, this Lessons in Magic course, is bringing two principles together: chalice and blade, yin and yang, force and form, however you want to term it, and seeing what happens if we consciously and deliberately do this with awareness. The world of magic has been so glamorized and obfuscated, to use that wonderful word, that what has interested me over the last 30, 40 years has been, how can I understand magic and magical processes and principles in the simplest way possible? Because there's something very powerful about simplicity. As soon as we start to elaborate on things, we go into our heads, we make things unnecessarily complicated. It's not about being simplistic, which is different, being naive and simplistic. No, it's about simplicity. So there's a beautiful simplicity in magic, and that's the principle that we're working with, I think, in this course. And so what are these two principles of yin and yang, of chalice and blade? I had a great kind of breakthrough in understanding magic when I was studying psychology, and I was doing my degree at UCL. And I came across the work of a psychologist who was looking at very creative people. And he found that amongst all the skills and abilities that creative people shared in common, and successful people, successful in their creativity, if you could put it that way, was that they were able to be highly focused, but also extraordinarily open to new ideas, new experiences, open to the idea of containment as well, which in its sense is nicely paradoxical, which is the realm of magic is paradoxical. So this, because we need containment to do art and to make things. We need limitation in order for us to be powerful. So he discovered that these people all shared in common this ability to be highly focused and also very open. And when I read that, I immediately thought, Excalibur and the Grail. The sword of concentration, of focus, of intention, of clarity, of vision, and the chalice, the Grail of love, mind and heart, vision and feeling, passion and purpose. Put those two together in the right way, and the result is the magical child, the birth of something new and something good. And what are we doing in the work of magic? We're trying to make ourselves happy and to do good in the world, if you want to put it simply, to feel fulfilled, to have positive feelings, and to be a force for good in the world. So doing magic is a good thing to do, I think. It's not selfish. It's not an activity of the me generation. It's not the fantasy of people who can't face the harsh realities of a world in crisis, which it is. No, it's a serious work that is also fun, filled with joy, and has a real purpose. That's why I love magic, and that's why I've created this course to help people do magic, because I think it's of value in the world. It's like starting at first principles. If you get these principles, if you work out how to use these principles to bring good into the world, then that lies behind whatever good you're doing, whether you're starting a charity, whether you're helping poor people in Africa or rebuilding housing or whatever it is. You need, at the heart of your desire, you need these principles fused together for the maximum creativity and the maximum energy. So the course is in 7 lessons. It's all online because there's this magic. It's rather like, I kind of realized in doing these, I've been doing these Tea with Druid, me and other friends like Ema have been doing Tea with the Druid for almost a year now. This is Tea 48. And you realize what a fantastic opportunity it is to meet up with people from all over the world. Andrea King in Glastonbury, Jörg Thimmel in Berlin, uh, Gabrielle Rengel-Schneider in Germany, Elizabeth in Sweden, and so on. It gives us the opportunity to bring us together in this virtual space, which is magical. It's extraordinary. Imagine if you could bring your great-grandparents back, and let's bring them back now and sit them beside us. Imagine your great-grandfather and your great-grandmother is sitting here, and you're saying, look, I'm talking to people in Sweden, in Germany, in Brazil, in the United States, in Lincolnshire. It's incredible. And they would say, this is magic, and it is. So in seeing how this sort of magic worked, and in seeing how good it felt to be with you on these Monday evenings, how creative it felt, how inspiring it is for me, and I think for you as well, I hope, I thought, let's use this medium. And so that's what this course does. It uses this medium. So there are films, there are pre-recorded meditations, there are exercises, there's an area for you to do comments, and there's a private magician's club. Notice I'm lowering my voice because it's private. There's a private magician's club that has been built on the astral plane. It's the most beautiful place with lovely rooms and beautiful gardens with trees and orchards. And it's a place where we can meet as well. And so I'll give a link to it in case it's of interest to you on this post. But in the meanwhile, I want to do a little piece of magic now. Because, of course, like everyone, I guess, these are strange times we live in. You know, we've been through the time of Samhain, which is always a strange time. If I walked with you outside this house, you wouldn't believe what's happening outside in the street. There are thousands of people parading with flaming torches. There are effigies of Theresa May and Boris Johnson that are going to be burnt on the hill. There are fireworks about to go off. It's crazy. It's sort of wonderful, but it's pretty full on, I have to tell you. But that's nothing compared to what's going on around the world, to what's happened recently with the election in Brazil, which threatens perhaps the rainforest there, with the turmoil that's been happening in the United States for the last few years and continues, with the turmoil here in Britain, with the Brexit uncertainty, with the turmoil in Eastern Europe, and other parts of Europe, actually, with the rise of the populist movements and so on. It's a difficult time. The latest report of the World Wildlife Fund about the state of the planet and so on, and the UN. So let's do a little bit of magic. So let's now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest we go into the sacred grove. If you're new here, just listen to it if you like, and you can watch the recording and do it again. But what we're going to do is we're going to sense being in this clearing in the woods, the sacred grove of the Druids, which is a place we like to imagine as a place of sanctuary and a place of magic where the two worlds meet, the other world and this world. And we sit in this place for our meditations. And then I'm going to suggest that we do what we do in Druid ceremonies, which is we reach out and hold hands. And we're going to hold hands with all the people in this circle, which stretches across the whole earth. And then we say the Druid prayer, which is we swear by peace, or the Druid's vow, we swear by peace and love to stand heart to heart and hand in hand. It's a vow of love. And we swear that, and then I'll invite you to place your hands on the earth to send love to the earth. And so let's do that. So you might like to close your eyes to better concentrate on yourself. And just imagine, if you will, that you're seated in the sacred grove, a beautiful clearing in the forest, and you're becoming aware of the earth beneath your feet. And sensing the earth, it gives you a sense of stability and strength. You sense all the life in the earth, all the life in the earth, the insects, the soil, the crystals and minerals. And you can sense the energy of the earth flowing up into your being. And it's as if two things are happening. On the one hand, your tension is just drifting into the earth, allowing you to relax more and more deeply. And at the same time, the energy of the earth, the healing energy of the earth, is flowing up into your body, bringing you a sense of vitality and groundedness. And you become aware of the trees in the grove. You sense them as your elder brothers and sisters, breathing life and energy into your circle. And you breathe in the energy of the trees, these guardian trees. And you can smell the trees. And with every breath in, you breathe in vitality. And with every breath out, you drop deeper into a sense of peace and calm in the sacred grove. And you become aware of the sky above you. And you breathe in the energy of the sky. And the energy of the sky meets the energy of the earth within the center of your being. And you open your inner eyes now in the sacred grove. And you sense that there are others in this grove, from east and west, north and south, forming a circle. There is a circle of us now. And imagine you're standing up. If it feels right for you, just imagine you're standing up. And you're stretching out your arms to either side of you. And you're taking the hand of the person to the left and to the right of you. And it's as if you're linking hands with all humanity now. Each of us represents humanity, the microcosm of the macrocosm. And our circle represents all of humanity too. And holding hands together here in this circle, connected to the earth, the sky, and the trees, we swear by peace and love to stand, heart to heart, and hand in hand. Mark, O Spirit, and hear us now, confirming this, our sacred vow. And then you hear everybody in the circle saying this gently and softly with love and consciousness. We swear by peace and love to stand, heart to heart and hand in hand. Mark, O Spirit, and hear us now, confirming this, our sacred vow. We swear by peace and love to stand, heart to heart and hand in hand. Mark, O Spirit, and hear us now, confirming this, our sacred vow. And sense that feeling of solidarity with all of those gathered around. Gently allow your hands to release. And then imagine that you're kneeling on the ground and place the palms of your hands on the earth. And allow all your love and sense of care and protection to flow to the earth. O Mother Earth, guardian, protector of us all, we send you our love. May the earth, her forests and fields, her mountains and rivers, be protected. May the animals and birds, all the species of life on earth, be protected. And then you lift up your palms and place both palms of your hands on your chest. And as you do that, you close your eyes within the grove. And you allow your awareness of the grove to slowly fade as you become aware of being seated here in front of your computer or your tablet or phone, fully present, fully conscious, here and now. And I'll finish with these words: a blessing on our lives, a blessing on the land. And so, many blessings to you. I hope you found that helpful. I'm now going to go and relax in the Private Magicians Club, just to spend a little time there. So have a lovely evening, and if you're celebrating Bonfire Night, have a fantastic time by the fire, and I look forward to seeing you next week. So much love and many blessings. Bye.